But once again, a Florida man has been swindled by his girlfriend, not his wife. He has been swindled by his girlfriend, and he has been overpaying on rent. He's been overpaying $2,394. This is not right. My man, it's time for you to get another girl or another potential fiance, because you don't want to be with a person who is not honest or dishonest. And ladies, if you were living with a man, would you want him? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Travis, and welcome to the IPH Theory. Also, I am one half of the Cultural Discussions. Please like, follow, and subscribe to both entertainment channels on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to hold you too long today. You know, sometimes I come across posts online. Sometimes I come across news stories or videos that I might give my reaction to. And if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my phone. One of them, I got my other angle right here. Hopefully that operates correctly. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, you know, I came across a disturbing post online, and it's about a young man in Florida. And it reads, Florida man says he has been paying $2,500 in rent while living with his girlfriend, only to find out that she has a housing voucher and only pays $106, 106.00, $106 a month. Let's go a little deeper, because I'm familiar with housing vouchers and I believe that, you know, they make things more affordable. But let's go to Google. What is a housing voucher? A housing voucher, specifically the Housing Choice Voucher, is a government-funded initiative that helps low-income families afford decent, safe, and sanitary housing in a private market. It's a subsidy that allows participants to find their own housing and pay a portion of the rent while the voucher covers the remaining cost. Now, I know this is simple math. 2,500 minus 100 is 2,400, minus $6 should be 2,396. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry, 2,394. Excuse me for the mismath. But ladies and gentlemen, this is disturbing to me. First of all, let's start with the man. Look, I know that that's your girlfriend, but that's not your fiance. That's not your wife. With that being said, you know, I have had a previous relationship where her and I lived together, or we resided together. I'm not saying it's a mistake, but, you know, you should really be living by yourself until you are married, just to, you know, give you some words of advice from a man that has been there and done that before. And I'm not saying that I had a horrible time living with my ex. You know, we had a great loving relationship. But anyway, this is not about me and my past. This is about this young man who was being robbed. But yes, sir, this should be a lesson learner that, first of all, you're with the wrong woman. You know, as a man, you need to know exactly how much the rent is so that you're not just blindly giving away money. Now, who knows? I don't know how their financial situation worked out. Obviously, if this is being reported, he did not know how much the rent was or how much the rent is. And if he was with an honest young lady, she would say, hey, this is my situation. So, you know, monthly, we just have to pay $106. So maybe you can give me $500 a month or $600 a month to cover, you know, electricity, maybe some groceries or things like that. But with the young lady, this is very greedy. This is very mean. This is a way of manipulation and deceit. This man is being swindled out of his money, and this is not right. So I bet you're still asking, are you still asking him for money while he's already paying you an extra $23.94 a month? And what if you all don't have kids and what if he doesn't have kids and you have kids? And now all of a sudden he is basically being a stepfather. He's paying all these extra bills and you're just pocketing the money, probably getting your nails done, probably getting your hair done. Now, some people might say, hey, Travis, this is not none of your business. This is entertainment news. Anything that's put online is fair game. We have every right to discuss this, as we should. But once again, a Florida man has been swindled by his girlfriend, not his wife. He has been swindled by his girlfriend, and he has been overpaying on rent. He's been overpaying $2,394. This is not right. My man, it's time for you to get another girl or another potential fiance, because you don't want to be with a person who is not honest or dishonest. And ladies, if you were living with a man, would you want him to have you overpaying on rent by $2,394? No, you would not. This is wrong. This is disappointing and it's disturbing. But anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on this. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this? Was this wrong, or was this what he deserved, or was it a little bit of both? You know, sometimes our feelings have to be hurt whenever we're learning lessons, but it's a lesson learner and you learn from that lesson, or you learn from that loss. You lick your wounds and you come back stronger. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Travis. I thank you for your time. I thank you for your patience. Have a wonderful day.